Everything in your life seems fine. You've got food in the fridge, a job that pays, maybe even a few people who care about you. And yet there it is, that slow, quiet ache in the background, a hum of restlessness you can't name, a void you feel guilty for even noticing. Welcome to the most invisible crisis of modern life, the feeling of emptiness when everything looks okay. We live in a world that worships functionality. If you're working, posting, producing, smiling, then you must be fine. But deep down, something doesn't feel right, and it's not depression, it's not drama, it's this quiet detachment, as if you're drifting just outside your own life, as if you're watching someone else live it on your behalf, and you don't even know when it started. You just know that somewhere along the way you stopped feeling fully alive. Let's get one thing straight. If you feel this way, you are not broken, you are not ungrateful, you are not being dramatic, you are waking up. This emptiness is not a sign of failure, it's a signal, a quiet, sacred invitation from the soul. There is more to life than this. Find it, but most of us never do, because the world we live in is perfectly engineered to distract us. We've normalized shallow living. Endless scrolling, productivity obsession, surface-level friendships, microwave joy, and yet, in the middle of all that noise, there it is, silence, an ache that refuses to die, because you were not built to survive on notifications and paychecks alone. Long before screens and salaries, humans asked the same question: why do I feel so lost? The Buddha called it dukkha, the unsatisfactory nature of life. Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. Kierkegaard called it the sickness unto death, a form of despair that comes from not being true to yourself. Plato believed we suffer because our souls have forgotten where they came from. These ancient philosophers weren't being abstract. They were pointing to something eternally human. The soul's hunger for meaning, not distraction, not comfort, meaning. And when life is full of things but empty of meaning, you feel it, not as loud pain, but as quiet collapse. We live in the age of more success, more access, more everything. We're told, you can be anything, you should be happy, you have so much, and if you're not happy, then something must be wrong with you. This is the trap. You start thinking, maybe I'm just lazy, maybe I'm ungrateful, maybe I'm the problem. But the truth is, you were never meant to feel whole by simply achieving. Because happiness is not a finish line, and success is not the same as fulfillment. You can win the game of life and still feel like you lost yourself along the way. Our minds are bombarded, thousands of ads, messages, images every day, each one screaming, buy this, be this, fix this, and your brain is trying to keep up. But it wasn't built for this. Dopamine becomes your drug, your nervous system stays in fight or flight, and so you swing between numbness and overstimulation, anxious and exhausted, restless and uninspired. Like your body's awake, but your spirit never really got out of bed. Meet Alex, corporate job, gym 5 times a week, meal prepped, social on weekends. From the outside, he had it all together. Inside, he felt like a ghost. He couldn't cry, he couldn't laugh, he couldn't feel much of anything, until one day in therapy, someone asked him, what brings you alive? And he froze, because he had no answer. Alex had mastered performance, but he had forgotten presence. Many of us are emotionally starved, not for attention, but for depth, not for company, but for connection. We laugh at trauma memes, we glorify overthinking, we normalize emotional suppression, but emotions are not the enemy, they're the compass. You were never meant to be emotionally flatlined just to be seen as mature. Your soul aches when your truth is silenced, and eventually it starts whispering. Something is wrong. This isn't who you really are. That whisper, that's your invitation back to yourself. The soul doesn't want perfection. It wants presence. It doesn't want you to have it all. It wants you to remember who you are. Sometimes emptiness is just the soul's hunger for silence, simplicity, truth, connection, realness, not a better job, not a prettier body, not a new city, but a deeper relationship with your inner world. Start here, slow down, get quiet, not forever, just long enough to hear yourself again. Ask, what am I avoiding? What part of me have I silenced? What used to bring me joy? Not the performance version of joy, the childlike, messy, irrational, magical kind. Then do one small thing that nourishes your soul. Not your feed, not your brand, your soul. That's where the return begins. Your emptiness is not a void, it's a space, a sacred space where the old you has died and the new you hasn't yet arrived. Honor that space, sit with it, listen to it, because beneath the numbness is a voice, your voice, and it's not asking you to hustle, it's asking you to heal. You don't need to add more, you need to return to truth, return to what matters, return to you. So if your life feels fine but your soul feels empty, you are not alone, you are not broken, you are being called not to escape your life, but to enter it fully, not to fix yourself, but to remember yourself, because maybe emptiness isn't something to get rid of, maybe it's something to listen to, and when you finally do, you'll realize it was never empty to begin with. It was just waiting for you to come home.